talked about J.P. Lossman, more confident, more accurate, coming off the highest quarterback rating in any game in his 12 starts in his brief career. Only one pick thrown in 111 attempts. On the line, look on that right side as Duke Preston gets his second career start, the second-year man from Illinois. Valerial is out with an ankle. And again, McGahee averaging about 97 yards a game. That is best in the league. He's a #1 rusher in the NFL through 4 weeks. Going to come out throwing. Lossman hits McGahee for a short gain of 3. That's it. Tank Johnson was in on the quarterback. This Bears aggressive bunch, and Tommy Harris already twice the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. 2 sacks of Hasselbeck last Sunday night. Urlacher, well, he really is the embodiment of this Bears defense. He defines it. And in the secondary, the rookie from Abilene Christian, Daniel Manning, starting on 2nd and 7. McGahee working the right side with a stiff arm and trots out of bounds near the 30. It'll be a 3rd and 5 on the way. And Phil, why don't you give us a little look at the spotlight?
Well, let's look at this Buffalo offense. As we talked to Dick Duran last night, he says it's okay to punt. You don't hear coaches say that too often. Be patient. Don't take too many chances and turn it over. When you talk about this Chicago Bears defense, pure talent. That's what they have a lot of, so they don't have to do a lot. They don't trick you. They just line up and say, here we are. Can you beat us physically? So far, nobody has done it.
Urlacher sending some signals to the crowd. They brought in a rookie, Mark Anderson, to apply some pressure on this passing down. Lossman, though, tosses it near midfield, and the catch is made by Lee Evans for a gain of 19 and a 1st down.
It shows in the way they play, so that energy is evident.
Nice free down, if you will, on 1st and 5. Lossman sings it, and there he is again. Evans very close to that 1st down with Ricky Manning covering. Well, there's so much cross-pollination, if you will, between these two franchises. Players and coaches he brought over from the Bears, and even some Bills who are now on Chicago's roster. He said it's like looking in the mirror at yourself when he looks at the Chicago Bears. 2nd and inches. Going to try to cross him up with a long throw, looking for Evans, and he's through the back of the end zone, overthrown. Charles Tillman on the coverage.
Sorry, Jim, but that's what Steve Fairchild, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, said. There are known situations where they're going to play a certain defense, and we've got to go down the field with it. That time, 2nd and short. What are they expected on defense? A run, so they play man-to-man outside, and that time J.P. Lossman, he had it out there, just overthrew it.
Fairchild coming over from the Rams on this new Duran staff at Buffalo. You visited with him last night. What did he think of his quarterback?
I'll talk about that a little as goes on, but to say he's tough on his quarterback is an understatement.
3rd and inches, and they go McGahee, and on the 2nd effort, it'll be close. They're not going to give him the spot.
Big decision right here.
Low snap, and gets away from Norman. Ball still down, and the Bears will take over at the Buffalo 40.
The the Buffalo Bills were going to go with a fake punt. And what happened, Mormon just leaves too quick. He's one to go before the football gets there.
Ayan Badejo picks it up. And the Bears will start with a short field. Hey, he started moving.
Oh, no question. And the Bills had the outside walled off. He was going to run for the 1st down. Almost the perfect situation to run it. You were going for it on 4th. You get the penalty. Now the Bears would not be expecting a fake punt.
And you saw room over there, huh? All right, Grossman from the 40. Flings it over to Berrien. Bernard Berrien for a gain of 7. Rex Grossman, drafted in the 1st round by Dick Duran when he was the Bears coach. His last 1st round selection when he was the man in Chicago. And there's a familiar face for Buffalo fans, Reuben Brown, who made 8 Pro Bowl appearances as a Bill, now in his 3rd year on the line. And Muhsin Muhammad Well, he's had 2 100-yard performances this season. Did not have any last year. He is Mr. Clutch when it comes to the passing game. Thomas Jones, 2nd and 3, and scoots for the first down inside the 30. The Buffalo defense will play with aggression. It's young, it's hungry, and it's led by Aaron Schobel on the line, always in the face of a quarterback. London Fletcher. Alongside today will be Ellison, Keith Ellison, as Takeo Spikes is out again with the hamstring. He was a late scratch again. We thought he might go. Whitner, the rookie, one of 2 rookies in the secondary, along with Coach Simpson. Play action. And Thomas Jones may have had a chance at that, but one of the officials, the umpire, Bill Schuster, got in the middle of that. What about the spotlight?
Well, deep impact. The Chicago Bears, they'd love to throw it down the field, and that's the biggest worry for this Bills defense. And Dick Jauron talking to him last night. How about this? He goes, we don't mind if they run the football because that means they won't be throwing it down the field so much, getting those big plays. And that's what the Buffalo defense wants to do, number 1. Stop the big play.
His 2nd down and 10. Straight running play with Thomas Jones. 5 yards. Set up 3rd and 5. This is the 3rd year for Lovie Smith, who was the coach of the year in 2005 and many of the polls, including the Associated Press. And again, he's the one who replaced Dick Jauron. What a job he has done here in Chicago.
Well, the first thing he did when he came to Chicago, he said, I fixed the defense first. That was my expertise. That's what gave him credibility. So that's where he is coached on the defensive side, and he got it straightened out. Now they have fixed their offense too.
We call it 3rd and 6. Grossman, pocket beginning to collapse, and almost picked twice. McGee first had a shot at it, and then Kiwaki Thomas tried to make a play on the tip.
This is what the Bills want. They come with the blitz. They're not going to be afraid. Rex Grossman just turns and throws it blindly to his right, and it could have been picked off twice. Receivers, they might be open, but when you turn so fast under pressure, the throw is off the mark.
Trying to hit Rasheed Davis. That brings out Robbie Gould, who's perfect on the season. You know, last year from outside of 40, he was only 3 of 8. He's 5 for 5 this year. This is in that category, 42 yards. Robbie Gould keeps his perfect performance intact. The leading scorer in the NFL puts up 3 off the turnover. 1 touchdown. That's it. Their offense, in fact, has given up as many touchdowns as the defense. There's Lossman. Evans weaving out to the 33. Grossman was picked and had 1 returned by Minnesota. Alas, the 1 given up by the offense, and only the Lions got in a shutout, not a shutout, but a blowout win by the Bears week 2.
8 of 7 on the completion. Buffalo has 2nd and 3. Their own 33-yard line.
So Lossman coming out looking pretty impressively early.
Good start for J.P. Lossman. Settled his nerves down right away. Good play calling. Always can help a quarterback out in those situations.
Sends Robert Royal is tied in out wide to the left on 2nd down, and they run it for only a yard. That's it. With McGahee.
You know, you kind of hinted to me, Jim, earlier. J.P. Lossman, his relationship with his coaches, he kind of told us, you know, yesterday how hard the coaches are on him. They expect a lot. They're coaching him hard. And it's Steve Fairchild. It kind of, it's like Jack Nicholson says in the movie he's in, if you can't handle the truth, well, then you don't want to be a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, because these coaches are truthful for what they expect of him.
This kid, Lossman, trying so hard to be great at this game. 3rd and 2, that ball deflected and almost intercepted. He was trying to find Josh Reed, but one of the linemen got a hand on it, and Vasher stepped in, almost made the pick.
Well, what they were trying to do is sprint out and throw a real quick pass to the right flat. The Bears know the play. They run it all the time with their offense. So J.P. Lossman had to look down the field. The linemen are going down the line with J.P. Lossman. They tip it.
Just out for a Sunday stroll.
You were down there today.
But I had a credential. On 1st down, Grossman working the sideline, and that's Muhammad trying his best, but he's out. We've got an update. And let's Send it to James Brown in the studio.
Jim Nantz, Vince Young's second career start with his first rushing touchdown, 19 yards to pay dirt. The Titans' first touchdown in the first quarter this season. They lead at 7-0 over the Colts. Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Well, that looked like the old Texas days there, didn't it?
Well, everybody's running the ball on the Colts, and it's just it's got to hurt them here sooner or later.
Second down and 10. Grossman zips in, and it's incomplete. And a flag is thrown. That was McGee on the coverage. Coach Simpson came into the area, but it was McGee who's going to be flagged here.
The official's got to call it.
And that moves the ball to the 39 off the penalty. Good play action. Good job of faking. Grossman hits his man. That's John Gilmore, the backup tight end. His third catch of the season, goes for 7. And we go to New York. Back to James.
Hey, Jim, another MAC conference quarterback trying to make his mark. Rookie Bruce Gradkowski in his first NFL start on his first series, hooking up 18 yards to Joey Galloway. Buccaneers on top of the Saints, 7-0 in the first. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right. Thank you, James. So a quick 7 on that one for Tampa. So a couple of road teams striking, Tennessee and Tampa to open games. Second down for the Bears. And Jones is stacked up about a yard shy of the first. Jones on the season averaging only about 3 yards a carry. He has broken 5 medium length runs. But you see 279 rushing yards. There you go. 5 rushes of 15 yards or more. That's second best in the league. He had 98 Sunday night and a couple of scores against the Seahawks in that blowout win. And they're going to be seeing Cedric Benson here as Lovie Smith has gone to this strategy this year. It's a long season, going to keep everyone fresh. Third down and less than a yard. And again, an excellent play action fake. And it's Clark, the tight end, for the first to the 40-yard line. Brought down by Coach Simpson. 12 yards on the completion.
A different Chicago Bears offense from last year. Being aggressive always with the play calling. You expect them to run the football more than they actually do. So when Rex Grossman fakes it on 3rd and short, the tight end is wide open.
Desmond Clark has more receiving yards through the first 4 weeks of the season than any tight end in the league. He picks up 12 with that one. First down at the 40. Justin Gage has come in for the Bears. Left side is open for Jones. Looks like it might go for more than that, but 5 yards nonetheless. Clemens on the hit.
You know, Jim, going back to what you said, Thomas Jones, Cedric Benson, Lovie Smith going to use them both because he has a philosophy. Skilled players, wide receivers, running backs, defensive linemen. He looks at all of them. He wants to rotate them because he wants to try to keep them fresh. The only people he says he will not rotate, offensive linemen and the quarterback.
That's Gage, you see, out of the game with Gabe Reed coming in, 82. Tries to throw a block here to open up that left side, and it works for Jones, and 10 yards.
I think when the Buffalo Bills said, hey, we'll let them run a little, they meant 3 and 4 yards and runs like that, not picking up 7, 8, and 10 with gaping holes in the defense. Good blocking that time by the wide receivers, the offensive line. Fullback gets a good kick out.
Gabe Reed came in and put a good block on Aaron Schobel to seal the corner. We also saw Reuben Brown, the ex-Bill, in there, helping free that one for another first. From the 25, Grossman. Pass incomplete at the 9. Intended for Berrien with Clemens on the hit. Coach Simpson also.
Yeah, one of the things I see when I watch the Buffalo Bills play their games this year, their corners, Nate Clemens and Terrence McGee, can cover receivers down the field. They put them in some tough situations. They expect a lot of them, and so far they've come through.
And there's Nate Clemens. There's McGee. The 2 corners, the 2 starting rookie free safeties. Berrien never able to get a grasp of it. Third down on the way, and we're on our way back to New York in an update.
Hey, Jim, take a look at how the Green Bay Packers tied it up, capping a 15-play, 68-yard drive with a 1-yard dash by Noah Herron. It's all knotted at 7. That in Green Bay. Back to Jim and Phil.
2 first-year coaches in that one. Thank you, JB. Linehan. And that St. Louis side off to a good start. At 7-7 up at Lambeau. Here it's 3-0. Bears with a big 3rd down. Postman's pass. Batted away. Good play by McGee.
And really good disguise of the defense. Kawaki Thomas hangs back. You think he's going to play safe in the defensive secondary until last second he blitzes. And Rex Grossman sees it coming, not allowed to get enough on the football. And it's one of the reasons why it's knocked down.
Second straight time the Bears drive stalls at the Buffalo 25. We're going to add a yard to this field goal try. Made the first one from 42. Robbie Gould. Maynard gets it down, and Gould from 43 is good again. Now 15 for 15 on the season. 6-0 Chicago first quarter. Super Bowl magic, the 85 season, the 86 Super Bowl.
Yeah, that song makes me want to dance.
It does. McGahee takes a defender with him out to the 26-yard line. You had a few words for him. 2nd down and 9. Open is Price, and right through his hands. He looked up. He could sense that Nathan Vasher was closing on him, but should have had it.
You look at the start of this game. The Buffalo Bills have had so many chances. Jim, there's a little look at how the wind is affecting the football when it's in the air. Little breeze on the field, so it's going to move it every once in a while. But the Bills, couple bad penalties, a few mistakes, and chances to make plays. They've let them go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've had the drop pass now, 2 false starts, and the fumble on what would have been a fake punt, the fumble by Mormon, and now it's 3rd and 9. Rossman in trouble, taken down at the 13. Alex Brown comes in for the sack.
When he gets past 3rd and 5, it's really almost impossible. Look at Brian Urlacher to pick up 3rd downs. The Buffalo defense, everybody, 7 guys are going to drop back to around the 1st down line. They have 4 good pass rushers up front, so it makes it tough on the offensive line, and it makes it tough for a quarterback to see down the field to find the open guy.
There's Mormon, 66 yards with his last punt. Hester backpedaling to the 30, running room 40, 50, and out of bounds. They'll start another drive in Buffalo territory.
Well, first off, he knows he has a lot of talent, so he's willing to live through a few mistakes. But the football team is really good, so they can overcome a young guy who makes a few mistakes like that.
From the 49, Jones, quick rush to the 38, and a gain of 11 running behind John Tate.
Well, the Buffalo Bills says we cannot give up rushing yards up the middle of our defense. And so far, they are doing that. Chicago has struggled in the run game.
There you see Tate. There you see Brown. Those two paving the way for Lovie Smith's running game.
And Olin Kreutz in the center.
And now going right behind Kreutz is Thomas Jones, dragging 2 players with him. Simpson brings him down, but a rush of 9. We've got the update. Back to JB.
Hey, Jim, I think Phil would agree with me. You don't blame Charlie Fry on this one. Dennis Northcutt had this pass, couldn't hold on to it. Richard Marshall takes it. Thank you very much. 30 yards to pay dirt. 7-3 Carolina. Back to Jim and Phil.
Well, the Browns rallied last week against the Raiders. They were way down in that one and then just took over. Thought they might ride a little confidence today. They're trailing on the road in this one early. 2nd down, 2nd and just a yard to go. And a whistle as they run it out. There was a flag. I thought they were going to rule the play dead. I think a few players were kind of standing around too.
They talk so much about Olin Kreutz, the center. And they said our inside defensive linemen have to play really well, because if we let him dominate, that means they're going to run the football we'll have to gamble, then they'll throw it over top.
First down and 10. Jones spinning. The spin move picks up an additional 3.
And that's where it was, right over the center, the left guard. Olin Kreutz, like you said, Reuben Brown, the ex-Bill, I'm sure he's motivated today. And look at him just pushing the Bills. One way, Thomas Jones cuts it back, and he gets another big gain.
That's going to end the first quarter. Bears are already heading down to the other side. Surprise, surprise, giving up no points in that first quarter. There's a get high marks. Second down for the Bears, again in Buffalo territory. They swing it over to Jones. Oh, he gets away from the first tackle. He escapes Nate Clemens, and Chicago has a first down.
To play the style of defense that the Bills are trying to play today, the bend but don't break, it's a good philosophy, but you cannot do this. You have to have an excellent day of tackling whoever has the ball out in open space. And when you're playing a defense zone, they're all looking at the quarterback. He throws that football short. You got to get there quicker. Got to get him in more third downs and get off the field.
Mohamed lined up to the left. First down from the 11. Jones dancing around to the 7. We haven't seen Cedric Benson to this point, as Jones has looked really sharp.
He's got it going. He's in rhythm. He's carried the football a lot more this year than Cedric Benson has, so as long as he doesn't show signs of fatigue, keep giving it to him.
This season in the red zone, 5 out of 14 times with a touchdown. That's not what Lovie Smith wants.
Well,
that's one of the reasons why, you know, you see Robbie Gould has already made 15 field goals this early in the season. Here's the pitch, and now the pass. No, he tucks it under, does Thomas Jones. He was looking into the end zone, looking for, I believe, Berrien.
Well, the Chicago Bears, they play good defense. They're good on offense. They're not good actors. Bernard Berrien just comes up too quick, looking to throw the football. Thomas Jones, and Bernard Berrien too quick down at the other end. Didn't wait long enough.
So we finally got something we can say that the Bears aren't very good at.
That's right. They got to sharpen up on it next week, but that's what it was. Thomas Jones not used to throwing it, couldn't fake it long enough to sell it to the defense to get the easy touchdown throw.
Now it's 3rd and 7. Pass caught at the goal line, and it's a touchdown. Touchdown, Bernard Berrien. From 8 yards out, with McGee trying to defend.
What gave the Bears such a good chance for the touchdown was the formation that they came out in that last time.
Grossman now, this is his 3rd home game of the season. He's got the highest rating of any quarterback at home. 7 touchdowns and no picks in the games at Soldier Field this early in the season. Lossman on first, goes underneath to the 30, and it's not complete. Slipping out of the hands of Peerless Price for the 2nd time today.
Here, Jim, here's what makes this Bear teams, it makes it scary. Because this is why you want your offense to go out and push the issue. So they've done it. They're trying to score. It's 13-0. Now some of your plans on the offensive side, you got to start rethinking. And when you get aggressive against a defense that is good as the Chicago Bears, what's going to happen? Usually bad things.
9 yards rushing, 25 yards passing. Bulk of that coming on the first series on a 19-yard hookup with Evans. Lossman, great protection. The ball deflected, though. Boy, his line blocked for him. But Urlacher almost able to get it on the rebound.
They live for it. If they can't get to you, the defensive linemen, they're doing an excellent job of raising their hands.
That's Anderson, the rookie. The top rookie sacker in the league. 3.5 sacks already in this season. And Urlacher, he plays long, doesn't he? But not able to stretch out for that one.
That's something you just don't account for when you play the Bears defense. How tall they are, long-armed. They get their hands on a lot of football.
3rd down and 10. Lossman again, well protected, and he hits Evans for the first. You know, you say that about it's hard to realize what you're facing, how long the Bears are. Lossman told us last night that he's so thankful he had a chance to go against Chicago in a preseason game last year and really learn that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jim. Now he, not watching film, he realized, look at the sight lines that J.P. Lossman had that time, and when you give him time, good example there, he can drive the football to the receiver.
He's going to go to the shotgun on first down. Josh Reed, a third receiver added, and McGahee trying to toss him up, running out of that formation, and that's only a yard before Charles Tillman shuts it down.
You know, I said it earlier, and that's what makes this Bear another reason why they're so good. The Bears don't have to gamble their defensive line. So again, when you play zone, the defense, especially the back seven, they're watching what's going on. So when they see the handoff, they all can run to it. The first guy makes the tackle, and the next 2 or 3 come in and try to strip the ball from the wide receiver or the running back, whoever has it.
Second down and 9. They'll stay in the gun. And Rossman wide of the mark with that one. Trying to hit Evans on a quick slant. Lance Briggs in the area. There he is. Pro Bowler last year.
You know, Jim, that's just what we said. Lance Briggs, you're the wide receiver. You're inside. You think you're good? Watch out. Here comes a linebacker flying your way. Why was he going so fast and so quick? Because he's watching the quarterback. They trust that their defensive linemen are going to get there, so they gamble by watching the quarterback's eyes.
Another third and long. Lossman converted on the last one. Again with time. And he's picked off. It's Briggs. Briggs inside the 40 and brought down by Royal, the tight end.
Well, J.P. Lossman lost his patience. And that's what happens. 13-0. You start forcing the issue. And here's what happens. You're going to see a receiver, Evans, come over. He's open. But J.P. Lossman wants to wait and pick up the first down. What did Dick Duron tell us? It's okay to punt. Throw it short. No chance of hitting the receiver behind, and it leads to a turnover, and now you got a chance to put yourself in an impossible situation against a terrific football team.
It was Tommy Harris who was putting the heat on Lossman. Benson is in the backfield for Chicago. They fake to Benson. Now they throw it over to him. His first reception of the season, and it goes for good yardage. That was only the second time, by the way, that Lossman has been picked off this season in over 120 attempts. So you had really forewarned all of us just a few plays before the pick that something like this could very well happen.
Well, this is what, Jim, this makes a really, really good team. It has a chance to make it great. Instead of being really conservative on offense and keeping it close because your defense is so good and managing the game and all that stuff that you hear, when you go out and attack, you make your defense better.
It's Benson, his 100th career carry, the former 4th selection overall in the draft. And he's never scored, interestingly, a touchdown in a Bears uniform. Now with 100 rush attempts in his career, playing as a backup after having 64 scores in his career at Texas.
Just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. You know, going back to what we were saying, though, the Bears, Lovie Smith gets hired. What did he envision? The defense that we see and an offense. What did he say? I want a vertical passing game. Because those corners are playing corner for a reason. Because they can't catch. Good things happen when you throw it down the field.
Back to Benson. Wide open room to the 10-yard line. Roberto Garza, watch him open up a hole for Cedric Benson.
Well, yeah, there's quite a few guys over there doing it. You said it. Roberto Garza pulls around. Good blocking up inside. That time the backup tight end, John Gilmore's in there getting a good block too. And Cedric Benson, we see it a lot, don't we? Two backs, how fresh they are. They come in, they play hard.
They have just lived on the Buffalo side of the field. This is the 4th possession of the game for Chicago. 3 of the 4 drives have started on a short field. Benson, first down. Right up the middle, driving about a yard shy. Maybe him now. get that first NFL touchdown. That's right behind Olin Kreutz.
I said it's a matter of time. I didn't mean, in a couple plays.
That's
but
right.
Olin Kreutz, Garza, I tell you, that is terrific run blocking up front. Lovie Smith, if he complained about one thing to us, it was his running game. And the Bills, they do struggle a little up front. They're young. They're not particularly big. And the Bears are taking advantage of it.
Second and goal. With his first NFL touchdown. Off the Lossman interception. It doesn't take the Bears long to convert. Two touchdowns in a 4.5-minute stretch. Off the Briggs pick. Gary will have the call. Little matchup Southern style. Ole Miss and Alabama next Saturday. Lossman. Another negative play for the Bills as Anderson comes in. This kid is something else. The rookie who had 2 sacks on All-Pro tackle Walter Jones last Sunday.
I wanted to say, oh, that is some move he just put on Mike Gandy. Faked inside, slapped him, ripped him, comes up the field. Sound like a defensive lineman talking there. But if I was the Buffalo Bills, I would reel it in big time. Make the defense stay honest.
Second down, 14. Busted play. Lossman tucks it under. And hammered back at the 17. Charles Tillman comes up along with Hillenmeyer.
When you get in the shotgun in this situation, it's known the defense, Urlacher faking the blitz inside. Look how quick he reacted. Gets back in there, makes Lossman go to the outside, and look out. Here comes the troops.
Here comes Tillman, who was a corner opposite Ike Taylor. How about those two shutdown corners at Louisiana Lafayette? Now both starting in the NFL. Ike Taylor with Pittsburgh. Third and long. 3rd and 16.
I would run it.
They try to go up top. Gay shakes one tackle, but not the second.
Wow. Wow, that's right. Everybody up here in the booth. Wow. But that's what happens. And you saw it there. Brian Urlacher, he's supposed to drop way back in coverage. He senses it a little early, sees the screen. No chance of blocking him. Gets up there with about, oh no, he's not even the first guy to make the tackle, Jim.
9 of the last 11 plays by the Bills offense have gained 0 or negative yards. And they're going wrong. Berrien hits it in stride. 20, 10, and diving for the end zone. They say he stepped out at the 8. Well, you want a vertical game you talked about? 62 yards. And Bernard Berrien, boy, he has had some big ones this season already with 3 touchdowns over 40.
Jim, pass protection is one of the big keys. Rex Grossman can hold the football for a long time. It was a double move on the outside. Terrence McGee goes for it. The running game's making the defense gamble, and this is what you give up. But look at the protection and the space. He's looking left the whole time. He knows Bernard Berrien's going to make a little move. And when I watched practice on Friday, the Bears, they have about 20 of these. That was going to show everybody how to score against his defense. Everybody thinks that.
First and goal from the 13. Benson hurdling to the 9. Now, what about Bernard Berrien and what a threat he's become?
Yeah, you have Muhsin Muhammad on the other side, so teams might want to concentrate on him. Well, they better not, because the speed receiver, that's what Bernard Berrien is. And also, it's like Rex Grossman said to us, hey, he's not only speed, he's tough. He goes over the middle. He's tall, and he makes terrific catches in traffic.
Got a touchdown already in this one. Grossman gets pancake back at the 15. Angela Crowell.
Well, that was a good word for it. That was like, I'm looking down the field, and then wham, it's over.
So they're facing a 3rd and goal to go. At Bernard Berrien, though, with a touchdown on this one, and now his 4th pass play, a +40 on the season. Setting him up at this end of the field. What will they do? They've got Muhammad to the left, Davis to the left, and Berrien to the right.
Look for another double move, maybe by the slot receiver.
Looking left all the way to the end zone. Open. It's Davis bringing it down for the score. Right into Nate Clemens and Co Simpson's area. Grossman with another touchdown toss.
Well, Jim, it's exactly what they do. The slot receiver, he's going to go down, make a little move to the outside, and he curls back in. The middle of the defense, they do not see they don't see the outside receiver coming back in. That's why he was open in the back of the end zone. Rex Grossman, under pressure, off his back foot, throws the touchdown. Because you're going to have people in your face in pressure, and he's shown this year he can do it very well.
First down, they do run it. McGahee wrapped up by Urlacher.
Well, let's take a look at Rex Grossman touchdown throw. People coming in his face. He's backpedaling. And look at that. Throws it, going back. You know, I got to tell you, that did look like a little Brett Favre. Except Brett Favre would have ran about 20 more yards after he threw it.
No, that move, the way he was able to sling it was very Favre-esque.
Well, that's what you do as a quarterback when you got pressure in your face. That's what it is. You sling it with your body, and your feet are not planted in the ground too hard.
2nd and 5, Lostman. It's Evans. Tries to step away from Tillman, but dragged down, but still got the first. Gained 11. Urlacher made the tackle on the previous play.
Did he?
And he stopped McGahee on that rush. And
well,
how about the Bears defense? People try to call it a Tampa 2, a cover 2. He said, no, it's Bears 2.
Well, you know, I said, did he really? Because what did Urlacher tell us? He goes, what about, he's dropping back. He says, I've turned into a butt slapper.
Yeah, all the other guys are making the tackles, he felt.
Good job, good job.
He's down at 10, and there he is. All right, this not, what did you call him? Butt slapper?
Butt slapper. Well, somebody will come up
cheerleader.
and
I thought he said he was a cheerleader. Most of the time just saying, good job, good job. But look, over the last 2 years, first in the league in so many categories.
Boy, it's really something. It tells you a lot about the coach, the system, but the drafting of players and getting the right type of players for the system that Lovie Smith wants to run.
It's the first time Buffalo has resided in Chicago territory in this game. And McGahee. First it was Urlacher, and then it was Boone. That one touchdown the defense has given up on the season was late in the game against the Lions after they had a similar start to this one over Detroit. They have a third and 5 at the Bears 49. Intercepted. Ricky Manning, coming off a 2-pick game last Sunday, has another one today.
That play was so reminiscent of the '85 Chicago Bears. The defensive backs, they know there's a blitz coming. They know they're going to get to the quarterback. He's going to have to get rid of it quick. So you're a defensive back, gamble. Make a reaction as soon as you think it's coming your way.
Well, it was Alex Brown who came in untouched.
Oh, untouched.
And really forced Lostman to toss this one a little quicker than he wanted to.
Quarterbacks are inaccurate and not very smart when they're under great pressure, and that's what J.P. Lostman was under that last time.
So now the Bears come out with a little swing pass to Jones. Stiff arm gain of about 3 yards. Alex Brown's made a couple of plays today. He's had a sack and certainly influenced that interception.
You know, his career has changed with Lovie Smith.
Well, he lost some weight, didn't he?
Well, you know, he was here before with Dick Duran, and they wanted him to be 285 pounds, which he went up to. And now, what's he weigh right now?
On 260. Lovie called right after he got the job and said, hey, Alex, I look forward to seeing you at about 260.
Yeah, and he loved it because that's what he is. That's where he is natural and the best athlete.
Second down, Grossman. With his first catch, he's short of the first. One last thing about Brown is you saw him go high in the air like he was going to try to knock down at the net, spike that pass of Lostman. He is an owner of a volleyball team back in Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. He is the sole owner, with his wife, I should add, of the Indios de Mayaguez volleyball team. A men's volleyball team.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, he goes, my wife would never let me have a women's volleyball team.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because he says he really understands the business side of football even better because of it.
Third down. Grossman pressure at his feet. Able to get it over to Jones. Jones into a couple of defenders at the 40.
I expected to see more of this from the Bills defense today.
Davis, we saw him run back a kick for a score in a preseason game here against San Diego back in August. You said no weaknesses. Offense, defense, special teams, and the fourth phase, the home crowd when they're here. And that's Davis out to the 29. Running into Jabari Greer. Well, they scored the first 5 times they had it. Field goal, then 3 touchdowns. Berrien, his 4th score of the season. Benson, his 1st score of his career. And then Rashid Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the year. So Grossman will come out and open up the 3rd quarter from the 29. Thomas Jones pushes away a wave of blockers and tacklers, picks up 4 yards.
Rex Grossman had a really good first half, and I thought what was impressive, not the touchdown throws, not the long throw to Berrien down the right side, but it was the fact that he stayed patient and he only took a chance when it was there. And I think what they've been looking for, if the downfield throw is not there, will he check it off and throw it short? He has done that so far in this game.
And you saw he's hit on his last 8 passes. And that's where the streak will end as he is chased out of the pocket by Kelsey.
Well, that's a good, these are all important factors in a football game. The protection breaks down, get out of the pocket, throw it away, and keep 3rd down manageable. But right now, and if you watch the season, every phase of their football team is clicking and working well. And confidence, it's just, you know you're good. And I felt that talking to the Bears on Friday, watching them, talking to Lovie Smith.
It's 3rd down and 5. Again to come in, Grossman walloped and almost picked off. It's ruled incomplete. That was Kawaki Thomas. So close to the interception, and Schobel would have been the one who really forced it at Soldier Field against the Bears. It was last September 05 when the Bengals found Chad Johnson. Rossman. That's McGahee falling across the 40 for a 1st down. Now 334 pass plays ago since someone hit him up top with an aerial touchdown. Chad Johnson. It's 13 months ago. And they have been the ones flexing their muscles since.
That's a pretty good move off the line of scrimmage, wasn't it?
It was. Man. Little explosion. Heading right, darting quickly out to the 47. That's McGahee. And Robert Royal helping free him for 6. Some more updated numbers since that touchdown pass in September 05.
13 interceptions, 33 sacks.
But how about the 0 touches, 13 interceptions? Whew.
Good defense, keeping it in good situations. They don't have to gamble. Reasons why they don't give up big plays.
McGahee easily has the 1st. And into the secondary to the Chicago 40. His fullback Shelton helped him on that one.
Jim, I said the Chicago team, they could have a letdown. I just didn't realize the letdown was going to come after they were 27-0 up top. But coming out a little sluggish, and they got to get back in the flow of the game. And no matter what you say to yourself, deep down in your heart and in your brain, you know you're up 27-0. So this drive right here probably woke them up. Now they'll start pressuring more.
This is the deepest penetration of the game for the Bills. The 41, they hit Evans to the 30 and down at the 24. We've got a couple of Bears down, including Lance Briggs. He's going to roll over and stand up. Already with an interception of his own in this game.
Overall today, when you watch the Bills The pass protection for J.P. Lossman has been acceptable. And Briggs coming hard. He's already had that knee checked one time on the sideline by a doctor, but he is not limping after that play.
He's going to stay in there. That was the 6th catch of the game for Evans, and the Bills, for the first time all day, running a little fluid attack. But Alex Brown says that's the end of that. Get up, Alex. The phantom tackle, but the pick all the way out to the 43-yard line. That's the 3rd time Lossman's been intercepted today. After the Alex Brown interception, they picked off Lossman now for the 3rd time in the last 8 pass attempts. Thomas Jones runs into McGee for about 4 yards. Brown coming up with a sack in this game, influencing a pass that what led to an interception, and now he gets one of his own, but he will get a little grief, I have to think, for this return, Phil.
Yeah, first off, just good discipline, not chasing it, waits for it, and then just runs himself right into the ground.
The legs are just churning.
Oh,
and he couldn't wait to ask you in our meeting on Friday. Tell me about Lawrence Taylor. What was he like?
When he intercepted passes, he took them all.
Across the middle, and that was intended for Muhammad.
Jim, we were laughing about it. It's not that it's funny, but he's going to, oh, that's cool, the big guy off. Yes. This terrific game, and he's going to go home tonight, and he's going to think of one thing. What he did on an interception.
Why didn't I stay on my feet?
Because the coaches, when you win, they have some fun with the films, and they'll run that back and forth so many times, and they're going to say, Alex, you lost 30 pounds over the last couple of years. Might have to drop a few more.
Kid's making some plays. We'll have a good time with that one. And this one up into the air, and then on the rebound, it is caught. Everything going the Bears' way. Davis with the reception. Clements tipped it. Seemed to be suspended in the air long enough for one Bills player to come down with it, but no, it's Chicago.
Just nothing going right for the Buffalo Bills. Jim, when you watch their first 4 games of the year, they get their hands on a lot of footballs that are thrown. They did against New England. They did it last week against the Minnesota Vikings. They're fast. They can react to the football when it's thrown, but they're not making that catch.
Not a good-looking pass by Grossman, but he'll come back throwing, going for the long one. Got a man open in the end zone, and it's another touchdown. Berrien slides to a finish after his 2nd touchdown grab of the game.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The 2nd foot was out of bounds.
This is the ruling on the field. Oh, and that's the right call.
Yeah, good call.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be close when I watched it live.
Yeah.
But, Jim, again, it was a little move go on the outside. The Bears, when you play them, you should be conservative in your pass coverage because they give Grossman enough time. They're going to keep doing double moves, and they're going to keep throwing it over the top if you play too fast.
2nd down and 10. And Thomas Jones into the secondary to the 20.
And that's what happens if you try to crowd the line of scrimmage too much and be aggressive. They're going to pop, get some good blocks up front. The running backs run hard. Little counter play, Thomas Jones. The Buffalo defense flowing too fast. They think it's a run to the left or to the right, and when he cuts it back, big gaping hole.
There's Jones with 13 for 76, and Benson was also contributing big plays in a brief appearance. Back to Jones. And he finds just a small seam to take it to the 15. His quarterback picks up 5 yards. Rex Grossman telling us the other day that Thomas Jones is one of the smartest guys on the field. He sees everything. And just like right there, he just saw the smallest little opening and was able to take that opening for 5.
You know, Jim, not only that, as you watching, good recognition of the blocks, kind of hesitates, waits, and then gets in there and drives it in for the extra yard. But one of the reasons why he's getting more carries too, they trust him in protecting the quarterback. He knows how to read blitzers, and he knows how to help offensive linemen out when they need it.
1 and 5. Over to Jones they go. Sidesteps one tackle and then smothered at the 13. First escape McGee for a couple of Bills collide on him. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. In this red zone today, 3 times inside the 20, all 3 leading to touchdowns.
For the Bills, if they wanted great success today, they had to be terrific on 3rd down. They have not done that so far.
3rd and 3, and it's Jones being called on, and he is stopped for a 1-yard loss. It's Keith Ellison making the play down the line. Snuffing that one out. That'll bring out Robbie Gould.
Now, good play call. Nice changeup by the Chicago Bears. Didn't even think that it could be a run. Buffalo again, though, we've seen it a lot. Just good reaction fast, and they stopped the 1st down.
Robbie Gould could tie the team record. Start of season with his first 16 being made. Kevin Butler has the team record. The great kicker out of Georgia. Remember that whole Super Bowl champion Bears team 20 years back. And Gould, does he have it? Yes, he does, they say. Wow. The nothing 3rd quarter. And this is the best starting point of the day for the Buffalo side. They plow ahead. Good hard piece of running turned in by McGahee for 6. 22 points. And they're up 30 in this one. Setting up the screen, McGahee. Ends it around 42-yard line, and a 3rd and long coming up. Lovie Smith got into this thing with us the other day about how his team travels and who gets to sit up front in first class when they're on the road. The defensive line, he says, sits in the first class section with the offensive line and the owners and the team captains. But he says the rest of us, including a bunch of pencil neck coaches, we're in the back. Third down, Manning blitzing, and the pass thrown away by Lossman. Meanwhile, back here at Soldier Field, the Bears start at the 4. And they're just going to work the clock here with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. That was Thomas Jones.
You know, Jim, you were talking about Lovie Smith, and I'll never forget this. And when we were here in the preseason, I was talking to him. They went out and got manhandled by San Francisco in preseason. And then when I said something to him that they had game planned and caught him off guard, he kind of smiled and had that look, and he goes, yeah, that was kind of good. You know, he enjoyed it. You know you got a good team when you can set them up to lose in the preseason. And that's what he did.
Did not hold on, incomplete.
You know, and I don't like telling stories about when I played, but we had a run where we were pretty good too. And I swear, Bill Parcells, he'd never admit to it, they would give us game plans in some preseason games that were so awful that we had no chance to win. And of course, we'd go out and lose. And then the following week, we got peppered and beat up and yelled at by the coaches to keep us on guard, to keep us sharp, to keep us striving to get better. And I really believe that's what they did this preseason against San Francisco.
With their attention pretty fast. 3rd down. It's going to be enough for the first. Bryan spins away. That's back to the inside to the 25.
One thing the Bears have not done a lot of this year, they haven't thrown a lot of short passes. And I thought they would have to throw more of them today to have tremendous success. But you know what? When you're good, and they are on both sides of the ball, they dictate to you how they're going to play. So even though you want to stop the big pass plays, easier said than done.
So the first down out at the 26. This time has it 31. I know one group that enjoyed that last pass play for the first was Ron Rivera and that defense. That important in terms of trying to preserve that shutout, not trying to have to boot it away and give the Bills at least a chance to start on a short side of the field.
Yeah, you know what, too? Believe it or not, that will keep the defense fired up. It'll keep their emotions. It'll keep them into the game. Streaks, not letting the other team score all that. These players, they know what's going on.
2 extra minutes to catch the breath also. 31, second down. And Thomas Jones bouncing back outside. Kind of yard shy of the first.
And what they've done today here, too, they've shown Rex Grossman good decisions for the most part, throwing it short, and they've got this running game moving. They're showing you the power. And even though they weren't having great success in the first 4 games, but they were still doing it. And that's more important in the NFL than you just got to keep trying. It doesn't have to have great success. Just try to make the defense think you're going to try to run so you can throw over the top of them every once in a while.
3rd and 1. As Jones called on for it, he picks up that first. He's averaging today over 5 yards a carry, and he's within 10 of having his first 100-yard game of the season. Talking about Thomas Jones.
Yeah, and he's done it a lot of ways. Jim, you talked about Rex Grossman says he's so smart. And he's got some talent, too. Can get out of the way, catches the football, knows how to pick up blitzes.
Well, they're having a good day running the football. And when we asked Lovey, what do you see as a weak link right now? What can you guys do better? I think he struggled a little bit for an answer, but one thing he did say, I still would like to see us run the football better, and they have done that today.
Yeah, you're right. That was the telling. That was the telling part.
Took him a while, didn't it? Hold on a minute. Can I make a phone call first?
It's like when I ask you questions sometimes during the game, you turn to me and give me that look, Yeah,
the deer in the headlights?
Yeah, that look.
Those questions, those unanswerable questions. Mr. Back of the plane.
Yes,
Mr. Coach.
Let me go back to that real quick.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I'm not doing in life. I'm never going to deliver papers again. I'm not cutting grass. I'm not flying coach.
You've been delivering newspapers lately? Or is this just something you just now changed? Thomas Jones. Look how hard he's working for it. And we're down to 90 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I've been making some side money.
Yeah. Tonight on CBS, all new episode 60 Minutes. Who's getting stopped by airport security these days? A lot of people, all because of their names. Is your name on the list? And then all new again, the Race, the Case, and Trace on CBS, America's most watched network. Thomas Jones, 95 yards on the ground for the day. It's 3rd and 5. Grossman's pass is a little bit short of the target as McGee jumped up, tried to see if he could get a fingertip on it. Davis was the intended receiver. 15-yard run back. How about Urlacher in your spotlight today?
Check him out, right by the center. Look how deep he gets. He's an extra center fielder on 3rd and long in pass coverage. How's that for a reaction to the run? Get rid of the block, make the tackle. Get rid of the block, make the tackle. He's big, he's strong, and he's so athletic. And he honestly, as I look out in the field right now, looks like a defensive lineman standing up at linebacker.
It's Lossman trying to connect again, and he's almost, had he not slipped. Vasher, I'm speaking of, it could have been another interception. We've got another update. Let's go back to James.
All right, Jim, we'll take a look at John Kitna of Detroit hooking up with tight end Dan Campbell. 12 yards to pay dirt. Lions looking for their first win of the season. 14 points off of turnovers. They lead it 17-3 over Minnesota. Jim and Phil.
All right, James, and on the NFL Today, when you were sitting down with Charlie Casserly, Charlie felt that the most valuable defensive player at the first quarter of the season was on the Bears, but it wasn't Urlacher. He thought it was Tommy Harris. And they tried to cross him up with a little handoff to McGahee for short yardage. And even Urlacher said there's no one, this was during the week, there's no one in this league playing better right now than my teammate Tommy Harris. Almost identical yardage on the ground. 3rd down for Buffalo. And the ball is loose. It's ruled incomplete. Ruled incomplete as Lossman is really knocked. That was Tank Johnson in on him.
We talked about the pass coverage. They faked the blitz. then everybody drops back. If you want to pick up a first down, they're going to make the quarterback hold it until a receiver gets open down there. But they count on it, and they get it.
He comes in at quarterback. That's it for Rex Grossman. Sit him down. No need to have him in there, up 30. Greasy and Benson also in there. And he gets the handoff for no gain. How about Grossman, his efficiency today?
Well, it was a good day. You know, the one thing I've noticed when you watch them, they're not going to hit a tremendous high percentage of the passes, and that's because they look to throw it down the field. So when you throw it past 10 yards and you get down that 20, 25-yard range, if you hit mid-50s, you are doing a terrific job, and that's really what they've done so far this year.
Second down and 10. And Greasy. Second pass of the season for Greasy, and that one goes to Justin Gage.
That's not a surprise. They're not going to put Brian Greasy in here just to run the clock out, because they want to protect this football team. And you do that by, when you get a chance, you give your backup quarterback some valuable reps. Brian Greasy, first pass, very good rhythm thrower. That's what he is, and puts it right on the money to the sideline.
Greasy, we saw him in the preseason. He was very sharp in those August games.
Yeah, there was a little debate in here in Chicago about who the quarterback was going to be. Not with the Bears, but with the media and some fans.
First down, it's Benson. Looking for anything, goes down the line, and there is a flag thrown. He's banged out after a loss of about 5, and we'll check the flag.
Good feel. They got presence. That's why they can do that.
Good eats out there on that field. They haven't wanted to walk away from the buffet all day. They run it again up the middle with Jones for a couple. Jones coming back in. He's moving in on 100. They're going to give him a chance to get his first 100-yard game of the season. You look at their schedule. They go out to Arizona, and that's a Monday night game at Arizona. Then they're off. And then look at the teams and the records. That's that Giants-Jets. There's going to be actually a 3-game road stretch. Giants, Jets, New England, which is kind of strange to see a team get scheduled that way these days. But that's going to be interesting to see how they go through that. But when you look at it right there, and maybe the Giants, you could see this team being undefeated through that. Until that point. Jones has his 100. Jones has the first down. And finally taken down at the 37. So for the first time after games of 63, 64 yards, 54, and 98 against the Seahawks.
You know, it is so true. They've had success running the football all day, but what I mean, it is true. If you keep running it, it will eventually tire the defense out. They get tired of taking on the tough blocks by the offensive linemen and then trying to drag down a really good running back.
And then they bring him in. He gets that mark, gets his 100, 110. And out he goes, back to Benson.
And there's nothing there, Jim. Nothing. They got him stymied at the line of scrimmage. Cedric Benson realizes it, and what's he do? Picks up 3 yards.
You know, last year, the only team in the league to rush for more yardage than passing yardage was Chicago. The Bears had only 48% of the yardage through the air. This year, 73%. So, I mean, the vertical game that you've spoken of has been there. Quickly over to Gage. And they bang bodies at the 31.
Yeah, their numbers, you know, you just got to be careful with numbers. But of course, they're going to be off whack because Rex Grossman's hurt. The backup quarterback didn't play well, so they end up playing a rookie in Kyle Orton, and he did a terrific job for being in the league, you know, starting right away. So that was tough for a rookie quarterback. You know, if Kyle Orton was back this year and he was playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears, he would be a different player. He would be having tremendous success too. Not as much as Rex Grossman, but second year, offense more wide open. He would take a lot more advantage of it than he did last year.
So he's now third quarterback. I think of how many games he started and won last year. Benson in the backfield with the second reception of the day for 5 yards.
That was a really good job by Brian Greasy. Over the middle, 1-2, drop it off to Cedric Benson. will get Cedric Benson into the flow of the game, getting some contact, taking the big hits, and really it does. It's just going to make this team better, getting him in game shape and able to take advantage of opportunities when they're there.
New set of downs, 26-yard line. Benson getting to work. And he's out to about the 27. You know, Lovie Smith telling us on Friday that when he looked at the Bills team before this one and the game at New England, they could have won right in the game with the Jets. That was a home loss. He says, you know, they really could be 4-0 coming in here. And if you ask me right now, best team we've played so far.
Yeah.
And that includes, you know, having, you know, Seattle was without Shaun Alexander last week. They were playing the defending NFC champions.
Yeah, and you know what? It wasn't coach talk. I know he believed it, and I was impressed with the Buffalo Bills coming in here, but it kind of fell apart. Breaks didn't go for him.
Greasy to Davis, wrapped up at the 15. Forward progress, good for a first.
A different offense when Brian Greasy is the quarterback instead of Rex Grossman. Ron Turner, offensive coordinator, he calls the plays differently. You can see it's more controlled. Underneath passing, that's what Brian Greasy excels in. He did it in Denver for many years, put up some incredible stats, did a good job with the same type of system down in Tampa, and now here doing it with Chicago.
And it's a first down at the 15. 30-0 and looking for more. Benson middle, tries to go outside, and Whitner, the first rounder, makes the hit. No gain with the forward progress. Well, next week's a doubleheader day on CBS, and early many of you are going to see the Houston Texans on a bye this week, a win last week. They'll be taking on the Dallas Cowboys. In the doubleheader window, some will see Kansas City, Pittsburgh, others Miami against the Jets, or San Diego and San Francisco. All starts at noon with JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer with the NFL Today next week here on CBS. A doubleheader day. Benson again back to the line. Kelsey with a tackle and a 3rd and 10 coming up for the Bears. The Bears are on their way to a 5-0 start. It'll be the first time Chicago 5-0 since 1986, coming right out of the Super Bowl win.
This is really a terrific drive. Backup quarterback, 8 rushes, 4 passes, 53 yards, and going on 8 minutes.
Yeah. It's a way to shorten the game, isn't it?
Yeah, and Brian Greasy, he's letting the play clock go down.
And Phil, if you look around, no one's left. They're loving what they're seeing. There's Schobel making the play. He has his 2nd sack of the season. He told us last night, I haven't made a play in 3 weeks. Although he also lamented that whole stat craze people have about sacks, defining a lineman.
I wish they wouldn't even have brought that up. He says the sack stat.
He comes from down in Columbus, Texas, where his brother Matt, you know, is a tight end with the Eagles, and the family owns a restaurant right there off of Interstate 10.
Yeah, he was mad at Rex Gross. He's a quarterback. You get near him, he just throws in the grass. You know, so
41-yard try for now to set the all-time Bears record, most field goals to start a season. And Robbie Gould has it. His 4th of the day. This one from 41. A 17 of 17 on the season. That was an 8-minute, 54-second drive that, in its own way, could help contribute to a shutout if this Bears defense can close it the last 6 minutes. A fumble, and it's still on the ground. I tell you, Ricky Manning could have fallen on it, but he never fell down. He tried to grab it by his down below his ankles. Adrian Peterson knocked it loose initially, and it is Chicago's recovery anyway. Idonije with the recovery. There's Adrian Peterson, the 3rd-team running back, who, when he's been called on to run the football in his career, he's done it well.
This Bears team, they just never let up, Jim. The special teams they're fast, they're aggressive, and they are a hard-hitting unit.
71 landing on it. Adonijay, who had signed an offer sheet with the Bills in the offseason. The Bills making him wealthy because the Bears came back and matched it. And Adonijay getting the start today for Agonlier. So right back out they come inside of 6 minutes. And it's Benson bruising for 4.
Well, now I'm pretty sure we'll see all runs. They got Brian Greasy his work in. They got to feel good about that. And you look to try to get the game over.
And that's all they're trying to do at this point. Taking it down on the play clock. No, we still got 15 on it this time. Greasy goes ahead. Back to Benson. Stutter step move. He's open. And he is inches shy of the goal line. I tell you, Benson's showing some good fight here today.
Yeah, he is. As he's getting into the flow of the game, watch him turn a little as he goes through there, gives a tougher angle for the defense to tackle, and then allows him to get about 3 more yards and land just short of the end zone.
Just get me in. Just get me to the locker room.
Oh, boy.
Terrence Pennington. First and goal. Will Benson have a second touchdown in the game? Can he get the chance? And he gets the goal. Gets the goal line right over the top. Cedric Benson, his first 2 career touchdowns coming in this one. Talk it over on the sideline. Lossman is still in there for Buffalo. Managing only 6 first downs on the day of this team. Evans for about 6. Now, how fast are the Bears? Look at this. Ayan Badejo running with the wind. Outrunning the birds. Said no one's left. 4 minutes to go. And the Bears trying to hold on for a second shutout of the season in 5 games. Lossman steps back for a little freedom and tosses it away. Alfonso Boone chased him out of the pocket. We've got the Subway postgame show coming up with JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. All the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. Well, we come into the day with only 3 teams unbeaten, and Chicago is going to obviously remain that way. Baltimore goes against Denver tomorrow, but what about Indianapolis? Been in quite a tussle all day long with Tennessee. Down 10-0 in that game at one time, and there the ball is loose again as Lossman had it stripped away by Mark Anderson.
Mark Anderson, Tank Johnson, the Chicago Bears defensive line, they're about 7 deep. When they have even guys that are sitting out and they have injuries, they still can pressure the quarterback.
Look at Anderson. He's off balance here, but still able to know exactly where to reach for that football.
They're always slapping at the football, Jim. We've talked about it. Knocking it down the passes, tipping it.
Well, Mormon and the Bills punted away to Hester. Hester has it at the 40. Will come back out at the 40, up 40. The Bears are right back out on the field with just 2:54 remaining. And there's a fumble coughed up by Chicago's Benson. And Buffalo has a chance now to spoil the shutout. They recover. from the gun. Lossman, pass, pulled down. And that's Peerless Price at the 36. Gain of 6. Again, updated 39 drives since the last touchdown scored. 12 full quarters. And I tell you, that fumble just created maybe the biggest suspense of the whole day.
Well, you can tell.
Think about it.
Listen to the crowd.
They're thumping their feet. They're cheering on this defense, and McGahee trying to expose him up the middle. Cuts to the outside, drag down, first down though at the 30. It's coming up from the studio on the Subway postgame show. First down for the Bills at the 30 of Chicago. Lossman to Evans. And he is wrestled down around the neck area with 1:20 remaining in this one. From the 18. First time inside the 20 today. Lossman takes off with it. Briggs chasing him, and he's out of bounds at the 10.
That time, if J.P. Lossman could have stayed in the pocket and the protection was a little better, he would have had a chance to hit Peerless Price in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. But everything's got to be clicking to score a touchdown against the Bears defense. The right play, perfect execution.
The defense chant now full throttle. They want their shutout in Chicago. With 4 receivers, first down, Lossman. Quick toss, too low for Josh Reed. And Urlacher was in on the quarterback. There is a flag. We were talking to him, Phil, on Friday about Dick Butkus, and he was talking about how Butkus in his day could get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And he said, you know, Brian Urlacher, you got to be tougher, but times have changed. Rules have changed. Protect the quarterback. And he's right. Crown of his helmet right into the chest of J.P. Lossman.
I'm in this year, giving up only 6 yards all season in 14 plays in the red zone. Unbending in this area. Pass thrown, and it is caught for the touchdown. That is Lee Evans. And for the first time since September 2005, an opponent has hooked up for a touchdown pass. Average margin of victory, 24 a game. Minnesota, by the way, just got on the board with another touchdown. They were down to the Lions in the second half, but with 1.5 minutes to go, it looks like the Vikings are going to win this game. They're up 26-17. So the Bills are going to drop to 2-3. They will be up at Detroit next. J.P. Lossman, his coach, had said he's improved in every game. But today they went against the most difficult assignment in the NFL, the Chicago Bears, and that Chicago Bears defense that now is not all the story. It's also the Chicago Bears offense. They are something special here in the Windy City. Back to James in New York.